Hey, what's up, everybody? And welcome back to this week's episode of The Best Brew Ever. We're continuing with our base malt series. And in the last episode, we did Maris Otter. We reviewed that. And I got to say, that was delicious. I was, very pleased at the results. This week, we are doing... This one is the Great Northern Pale Ale Malt. And I've already been drinking it, but let's give it another go. Doesn't have very much head retention. It's very different than the Maris Otter, as the Maris Otter itself was very malty, and I was wondering if the California common yeast that I used was kind of giving it more of that malty flavor too, maybe, because I've never used a California common. But I used the same yeast in this. I just reused the yeast, or harvested the yeast from the Maris Otter and use it in this batch, and I don't get nowhere near the malty flavor that I did with the Maris Otter. This is very light, almost watery, I guess you would think, compared to the maltiness of the other. And it's not bad. This would be something you would want to drink in, warmer weather and things like that. It was not a bad beer at all. And that the Maris Otter was great, but at the same time you're thinking, what do you want to do with it? I mean, when do you want to drink it? I wouldn't want to drink the Maris Otter one so much on a hotter day than I would want to drink this one. But the whole idea is not just so much to drink them on their own, but to figure out what characteristics each base malt will give you in creating a beer. So this one is going to be more of a not as aggressive malt flavor. It's a little bit dry. The Maris Otter was very dry, and I was kind of wondering if it was the yeast and all that kind of stuff. But see, now as I'm doing these experiments, I can start to see that it's more so the malt, because I'm mashing and doing everything, boil times, and same yeast, same mash temps, everything, hops, it's all the same except the grain, the malt. There's not a whole lot to say. It has a slight malt character. This might be a little bit more, slightly sweeter, but not. I'm not getting a ton of sweetness out of it. You're picking up more of the bitterness in it too, and like I talked about, I might have wanted to tone down the hops, because there are just base malts, but I really don't feel like it's coming out bad. But really not a whole lot to say about it. I mean, it's very kind of a neutral malt. I'm not really picking up a lot of characteristics out of it. It's cool, refreshing. I mean, it tastes great. It's just not anything over the top to make me say, well, this would be good in this, like I did with the Maris Otter. So and I mean, I think the color itself, it's actually looking kind of darker on the camera, but It's more of a hay color, straw color here, but it actually looks dark on camera. But it's not bad. It's just something else to take note of. I mean, I don't know how all of these are gonna compare. I'm sure there's gonna be several base malts are gonna have that kind of characteristic where they really don't overpower anything, and I think that's kind of what they're meant to do, just to um, give the alcohol um, characteristic, I guess, because that's where most of your sugars are coming from, your fermentables for your base malt, and then and other parts that you add are going to give it more flavors and colors and things like that. I really do wish I would have. I'm not. I keep talking about I don't take good notes, and I wish I would have. I have a refractometer. I wish I would have been taking readings on these beers so I can see where the alcohol content's coming out, just to see the efficiency that I'm getting out of these, and the difference. I'm trying to keep the room, the same temperature, about 65 degrees. I think that's what the California Common likes to be at, or around in there. And I'm not really lagering these for a long time. I ferment them for 2 weeks, pop them in the keg, and then I drink it. And then usually by the end of the when the beer is almost done, when you really can start, you could taste that it's being more finished, like more. So I would like to be able to, but it just depends on a lot of things around here. If I spent the money on the beer that I'm making, I don't want to spend more money on beer to drink when I have beer that I can pop in the kegerator and drink. So I think both of them can definitely use maybe another week in the kegerator, maybe 2 weeks. So I think a month would be beautiful, but they're not bad at all. 2 weeks fermenting, pop it in the keg, and I start drinking it right away. And like I said, by the end of the keg, you can taste the difference. I'm definitely am glad that I'm doing the base malts. I definitely feel like I'm learning a lot, even though it may not seem like, I don't have a whole lot of feedback, but I feel like I'm getting something out of it. And like I said, a lot of stuff on my channel is stuff I'm gonna do anyway, so I might as well share it with everybody else, and then everybody can see my mistakes and my success. Hopefully, want some success, right? So but I can't remember the name of it. The next base malt, it's like Sugar Creek, ye old English. I don't know if it's a pale, ye old English malt or something like that. And I pitched keep harvesting the California lager yeast, keep harvesting it, did everything the same, but I'm not sure that it's fermenting. My airlock is still, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that. And there again, I didn't take a refractometer reading, so I don't know if it's. I could take a sample, but I won't know if it's fermented any. But I guess I can get an idea. I mean, I guess if I checked it and it had like hardly any sugar in it, or very, very low sugar, I would say that it has fermented. So I'll probably, I don't know. I really don't like opening those things up, especially I don't want to mess anything up, contaminate anything. But that airlock has not moved. But it does look like I have a Croisen ring around. I got my fast ferment I've been using for all these base malts. So it looks like I have a Croisen ring stuck to the side of the fast ferment. So I would think it had been. And actually, I did take the airlock off and kind of peek down in there, and I seen bubbles here or there. So I don't know if it's just now taken off or it's been going and maybe I have a crack in my airlock or what. But I guess I'm gonna have to figure it out. I'll probably wait another week and then take a little sample. And if it's got low sugars in it, then I'll probably go ahead and just keg it and give it a shot. I really haven't shown the base malts being brewed because it's not a whole lot to it. It's about as basic as you can get other than extract. But I got other things planned, more technical type stuff, more equipment related, kind of how-tos or how I've done it. You know, I really don't consider myself the authority on any of this stuff. You know, like when I started this series, and I still think now, I'm still learning, and still kind of want you guys to come along with me. Oh, my throat's getting a little dry. I'm not getting choked up. But, you know, I appreciate you guys coming along with me, watching how I go, and, you know, leave comments. Let me know. Say, you know, I would probably have done this. Maybe I would do this next time. Or maybe you should try this. You ever heard of, you know, leave some comments. Let me know, you know, maybe where I should look at a little bit more. I'm not saying I'm always going to take all your comments and apply them. But it's good to, you know, have some feedback and see, you know, am I going on the right route? And, you know, that's the fun of all this stuff, you know. It's great for, you know, the new subscribers. I appreciate you guys subscribing. People who are watching the videos, I appreciate you. And all my home brewers, I have not forgotten about you. That's why I'm trying to pick up on these series. My other series that I've done with my daughter, she kind of not really interested anymore, so I'm not sure where those series are really going to go. I had fun doing those, but hopefully she'll do more, but I'm not going to force her to do them. You know, this is kind of my thing, and if she wants to, we can make some cool stuff. If not, I'll just continue down the path that I've already started. So, and I really didn't intend to stop any of the series. It's kind of just like make a video when I can and have fun doing it, you know. So I'm sure there'll be other series down the line that I'll think of and start and stop and pause and everything else. So I appreciate you guys watching. I'm empty. I gotta go get me another one. I know there wasn't a whole lot of feedback on this. There wasn't really a lot to talk about, but hopefully this next batch will work out great, and I'll have some more to talk about then. So if you want to keep up with the Back to Basics series, keep watching, like, subscribe, notifications, comments, all those things, and you'll see me on the next one. Thanks a lot, everybody.